What you got to understand is that I study another way to look at this. I tell you, and I think it's very important to have ethnic groups, because people like people, and the Italians, and it's not that's not a bad thing. But let me make a thing. I studied comparative religion, okay, and I was a biology major, a physics minor, and I took as an elective comparative religion. And what I took from that is interesting. When you study. There was his name was Joe Campbell. He was one of the pioneers. Wrote a lot of books with comparative religion, and he said, religion. He said it was invented basically. But basically exists. Religion exists to answer the questions that we have as human beings, and what are they? And no matter who you are, where you are, one question is, what happens? Why are we here? Who are we? Why are we here? Why do we exist? What happens when we die? Okay, why do we have to kill to survive? Pretty much. I mean, you could grow, wheat and everything, but we still kill animals. We kill fish. We kill, I mean, we don't do it personally, but somebody's doing it. These are. Why when we born? Why some people black and some people Asian? Why some people smart? Why people some stupid? Why does a baby die at 9 months? Why? I could go on and on. We're not equal in regard to what we're given. Why does God let a baby be born who's deformed and dies when they're 3 years old? Why? There's people who are born. I mean, I think that you're good. We talk about transgender now. You're born straight. You're born gay. Why does God? Why are people born gay? Why does God let that happen? Or why does it? What's the condition? There's people. I think that they're pedophiles. They're born these schizophrenia. It goes on and on. So we have this world where we sit there and go, what the hell? How do you deal with all this? And it gets overwhelming. Now I deal with it. I believe in Jesus Christ. I'm a Christian, and that puts things in order for me. And other people are Buddhists, and other people are Muslims, and then other people have other things that they deal with. Scientists.
I identify most with paganism, probably.
Yeah, well, whatever. Well, you're. But my point is we have however you deal with it. The reality is it's there, and so then we come back and.
You could even, for a lot of people, consider science.
Yeah, well, that's what they're trying to do. That's what the metaverse is. That's what a lot of these guys like maybe Elon Musk and Zuckerberg. All they want to get into that metaverse and that singularity and all of that. But that's another issue for another day. My point is that what we're talking about here is equity, equality. And how do we deal with it, and where do we go forward? We started the whole thing about should we hire a lifeguard, who is not qualified or
By the
less
way,
qualified.
Lifeguard season is starting soon.
Right. But it's a good point, and we don't know. But I could tell you, I think that one thing I think we could agree on, whether or not the definition we agree, but everybody should have an opportunity. Again, I go back to the Declaration of Independence. And I would change it and say all people are created equal. And I would say with inalienable rights, with rights from wherever you want to say, I say with the Creator, whoever created us or whatever created us, and you could expand, but life, that means you have the right to live, which means, nobody should have the right to take your life away from you, which means you should have the right to protect yourself too. Mm-hmm. And life, liberty. What does liberty mean? I don't have to live on my knees. I don't have to live with my boot. Like you said, you don't have to live in poverty where you got to beg for food, or because you're a black person you have to be lower, or because you're a Jew you have to be spit on, or all through history. You know what I'm saying? And life, and the pursuit of happiness. That's a big term. They want to have property, but happiness. That's a wide open thing, happiness. Whatever makes you happy. Obviously, if you're a pedophile, we're not going to let, we have limits. I'm not being a joke, but I mean, you can't, it makes you happy. Mm-hmm. Well, we're not, it's hurtful. But as long as it's within, the realm of not hurting other people, so we should be pushing towards that. Now,
would you agree that we've lost sight of that a little bit?
I think we always lost sight. They lost it in the Roman Empire. They lost sight of it, in Nazi Germany. They lost sight of it in Mao. They lost sight of it. We lost sight here in the United States. With the Roaring '20s, you went into a depression. We've lost sight of it. After when they shot Lincoln, we went right back to the Jim Crow laws. We abused people. Basically slavery was still to a certain degree. It was a class of human beings that were treated like shit. Absolutely, and it's still happening today. Here's an interesting thing. I'm not for open borders, but I'm open. I want immigration. My grandfather came here, and here's the thing, though, which is interesting. That's why I'm a little bit this way, that way when we have this. We talk about the immigration. Go look at the Statue of Liberty. You should pull it up right now and see what's on the bottom. I was there. I've seen it. Okay, you know what it says? Bring me basically your miserable, your huddled masses. Bring me your miserable. Bring me your garbage.
Like that. Yeah.
Because that now, and it still gives me, my grandfather came over here. He was a kulak.
The get out of my country people are
right.
All idiots because literally everyone in this country is an immigrant.
Right.
But if you go back far enough.
Yeah. But they have arguments that it should be done legally, and my grandfather came over here legally, and so I think that it's not the argument of immigration, it's how it's done and why it's done. We're an elderly, we're an aging population, and I tell you, people that I know from everybody in my world, people from South America, they're Catholics, they're Christians, they're good family people. I think they're great people, and it's funny, after a couple generations, they turn conservative. But my point is that human beings are fragile. We tend to go in a bad direction. That's why the founding fathers, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights is what's holding, is the most important thing. Because we have law right now. Right now, we do have times. The country goes up and down as far as corruption and prejudice, and I think that if you look at the bell curve, it goes like that. So, but we're going up. We go down, up, down, up. But as long as we're going in that good, direction, that's the way I look at it. But I tell you, a lot of people don't think it's happening fast enough. We take 10 steps forward, 5 steps back. When Lincoln, with Civil War, they were going to have Reconstruction in the South. And if you look at the literature and everything, they wanted to do some, they wanted to take away the property from the South and give it to the blacks and farmers. He got shot, and it set us back,
I think, I just think at the end of the day, this whole conversation is always going to round back to tolerance and empathy.
That's why
because